So we all know that building projects is one of the best ways to learn and get a software developer job as a newcomer. But why is anyone going to care about your project, especially when it looks the same as everyone else's? Well, I'm going to show you how to make your project stand out and how to make them gain attention. Step one is to build projects that are different than everyone else. You know those projects that we all done. I'm talking to you, to-do lists. They look the same, they do the same, and most likely they came from a tutorial. These projects are great for learning the basic concepts, but they're most likely not going to impress anyone. Instead of putting these on your resume, use them for understanding basic concepts, and then use what you learned building those projects to build better projects. So how exactly do you choose a better project? Well, first think about things that you have experience with and things that you actually care about. For example, I used to be a park ranger, so I made a project about parks. I also love video games, so I made a project related to video games. Doing this will give you lots of ideas and keep you interested in continuing the project. Next, within those topics, what is a problem that you or someone else is facing that you can fix with code? Doing these will ensure that your projects will be unique and that you'll be able to discuss them in detail because you'll actually be excited about them. Tip number 2 is to build in public. Building in public means that you are building a project and actively talking about and showing people your progress and thought process behind the project. Now, a lot of people are scared to do this, and I get it, but it's very important. It gets easier with time, and there's really not much to be scared about. I've been doing this very actively, and I'll actually link the project that I've been building in public in the description. You need to show that you are learning and that you are solving problems. Show your projects at all stages. This is important because it paints the full picture of your progress and your project being built from start to finish. When I first started to build my project in public, it looked absolutely awful. The code didn't really work, I didn't like the design, the colors were off, and it was just ugly. But that was actually the point. I didn't want to start with a half-finished project. I wanted to show the improvements that I made and be actually able to describe how I made them. The best way that I recommend doing this is picking a platform like YouTube or LinkedIn. Next, take a video of yourself describing what your project is, what you want it to do, why you're building it, and the technologies you'll be using to build it. Ideally, you'll want to show your face in the video because it shows off more of your personality. But if you're absolutely against that, I understand. From here on, you should make regular videos for each important feature that you add. And you'll want to talk about what you did, how you did it, why you did it, and what you'll be working on for the next video. Doing these will ensure that people will be interested in your project's progression. For tip number 3, this is advice that I received from people who are smarter than me, and that is when building projects, it's better to go deep with features than wide with projects. This means that you'll want to focus on 1 to 2 feature-rich complex projects rather than 4, 5, or even 6 smaller projects that don't really do anything. I receive this advice a lot by a lot more experienced developers, and I believe that it's going to positively impact how people view my projects. Basically, you want your projects to not only look really good, but also function very well. Take your time with your projects. The goal isn't to complete them as quickly as possible, but to make them as good as possible. If it's something that you finish in a weekend, then it's probably not going to be something that's going to really impress anyone. What you should be asking yourself is, will somebody actually care about this project? If they saw this project for the first time, would they say, wow, this is really cool? If not, maybe take a look at your project and see what kind of interesting things you could add to it. Now, this isn't the end-all be-all of getting your projects noticed, but it really is a great starting point. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, then go ahead and subscribe.